Good morning or evening, friends. The second time I'm going to do this. First time did not go quite as well as I wanted to. Got rid of everything. It was terrible. I cried a little bit on the inside. But we're right back in here, and I've done a little sprucing of it. Hopefully you guys like it. Looking at the value of teamwork. Now, it's the first time I really got a chance to look at this way. I'm glad I did. As you see, our team needs a tank, and so I figured I'd go with Reinhardt. The reason I went with Reinhardt is because we have three characters that are largely stationary. That's Ana, that's Bastion, and that's Zenyatta. And by stationary, I mean they're not really going to push out too far, or they should not push out too far. The entire point of Ana is to kind of be behind enemy line or behind our home lines and be able to heal from there. Zenyatta is pretty much the same way. I think Zenyatta actually does a little more damage than Ana, unless they've changed it. The last time I played, I want to say that headshots didn't count the same way with Ana as they did with Zenyatta. Bastion, of course, he just wants a place to set up. I am very, very happy to have good Bastions. I am a little frustrated with bad Bastions. So hopefully this turns out pretty well. I don't play Reinhardt as much as I should. Like I said, this is the second time doing this, and the first time I did this, I found all the terrible problems that I did. So this, I'm not going to spare myself, right? I mean, I'm just as culpable in a lot of this as anybody else, and one of the main things I have to do is get better at Reinhardt. I did not want to clog the opening with Reinhardt, mainly for the reason that you just saw. Farah comes through on a window or something like that. Junkrat starts shooting grenades through. Moira throws her little ball, and all of a sudden I become a liability up front. And it puts my healers in a bad position, because I can't help protect them. Farah, here we go. Farah has made her way to the point. She took out Zenyatta, and she took out Bastion. So because she was able to take out both of those characters, if I were up at the gate, I would not be able to really kind of keep them off. That being said, I wasn't able to keep them off anyway, so I guess it doesn't matter that much, huh? Yeah. This is a pretty fast cap for them. For objective point A, that's a really fast cap for them, and we got to do better if we're gonna salvage this game at all. Again, I'm not a great Reinhardt. Perhaps I should have gone up further and just made them forced to push through. It looks like most of the people that came in through the side. A lot of that was because Farah was able to get by and take care of Farah was able to get by and take care of Bastion, so there wasn't much else we could do. Now, Soldier or McCree, and even potentially Bastion, are usually really strong counters to Farah. Kind of the issue on this one, Bastion's in some interesting places, and I'm not standing right by him. Now, in this particular point, I don't think it's a good idea to stand right behind Bastion, or right in front of Bastion, because it's too easy for us to get flanked. That was a nice kill, but I am leaving my team kind of high and dry when I do that, so I got to be a little more careful. Trying to block, hopefully get some shots off. I push in, and this is the problem, kind of why I don't like to play Reinhardt. He doesn't have a very great disruption game, and you all know how I like that. And as you see, I'm playing like I am hunting down these guys. I'm not using my abilities. I'm not doing anything I should be doing. I guess I tried to use my ability, but it was too late and I missed. So that stinks. I should have, once I did the hammer, I should have gone straight into the flame strike and then into the rocket propelled booster or whatever it's called. On the point. Trying to block that justice. And again, I mean, that was my fault. I'll take responsibility for that. I pulled myself out of position more than once, and that led to a lot of problems. Uh, Chief among those problems is what we're about to deal with. Now, when you see this, you'll notice that this person comes into the chat to make it and then leaves immediately. But I'll let you hear.
Man, you guys fucking suck.
So our brave and courageous leader says that and gets out of the chat. Now I want you to notice there's a Bastion, an Ana, and a Zenyatta for attack. As the leader, as somebody who's able to tell us how bad we are, you would think that he would pick somebody when you have 3 stationary targets that might help us to push. He did not. He picked a Bastion. The issue with that is this, and this may be a totally viable team. This may be a totally viable strategy. In fact, I may have been in the wrong for picking 76. But the way I look at it is this. Right or wrong. This is a Hanamura attack. We have to, A, push through the points, through a choke point into this other building with 4 separate areas of access. We've got to push through that. We've got to get on the point, and we have to hold it. So it would help if we have bigger bodies, faster people, a couple of guys with some mobility that can get in and do some good work. If the comp, that being the case, if the comp is Zenyatta and Ana, picking a Bastion is usually not a good idea. And the reason I say that is because Bastion is best when he can set up. You're going to have to set up pretty far from the point for that to happen. And we need you to get on the point. Not to mention, once you saw that the tank was Orisa, now we see that over half the team is basically set up to be far away from the point. So what you're going to see here is exactly why I would have a problem with that choice. Now I picked 76, and 76 probably is not the best choice. I picked 76 so I could do a little bit of damage because we needed some damage. But I also wanted to make sure I had somebody with a little bit of health, or a little bit of sustainability. So once I got to the point, I could kind of hold it down a little bit. The problem is going to be getting to the point. I don't really, with Orisa, in this type of map for me, I don't believe that she is very good at having the ability to pull the enemy fire to her. The reason being is because she can set that shield up, but everything else that's going to take place is going to take place on the front side of that shield, which means it's up to myself and Genji to run through and try to deal with all the fire coming at us. I mean, in this choke point, not to mention deal with any sentry turrets to come in. We have to try to get all that taken care of, just so we can at least attempt to touch the point, or put some fire on the enemy. Right there, I got a kill, but look where we are. We're still at the gate, so we're getting forced in. I try to push up. They also have a Torbjorn. So we have to look for the sentry turrets from Symmetra to get those knocked out of the way. Hopefully our team can push up, but they're not pushing far enough up to really do anything. We have to look forward to Torbjorn being able to drop his turret. And we're just generally not able to make a lot of progress on this. I think part of the reason we're not able to make a lot of progress is the team comp is set up for us to kind of be more effective in the back than in the front. So now I'm on the point, and that should force the enemy to come to me. And it did. The enemy has to come to me. I jumped in at a good point because I was blocked from Torbjorn's turret. Once I was out of that way, I mean, there was not much I could do other than get shot. It's pretty rough. But part of the problem is, again, there's not a lot of people who can help rush the point at that. There's not a lot of people who can help rush the point when I'm in trouble. Zenyatta can't do it. Ana can't do it. Orisa can't do it. Bastion can do it, but he pretty much has to be either in his tank form, or he has to already have a really good setup point. And right now, we're not able to push far enough ahead to really set up a good point. The reason, as you know, I'm big about kind of displacing the team, being diversionary, that type of thing. The biggest reason you see me going kind of super heavy on the diversionary tactic is because we have Orisa. I'm jumping through windows and through openings and that type of thing to try to make it to the base. I'm trying to do that because I know they're going to be focused on Orisa here at the choke point. Again, if they never push forward, then it becomes much, much, much more difficult to kind of keep them honest. And now they can just come in, deal damage to me, run back out, and keep shooting at the choke point. Because, I mean, quite frankly, once he did Molten Core with Symmetra there, I might be able to take out Symmetra, but I got to be careful because there's a turret there. It's going to be dealing an awful lot of damage. I say that to say this. If you're not going to be a little more careful in your character picks, if you're not going to be a little more careful in your play, don't, like, insult your team. I know that didn't help me. I can't speak to anybody else on the team, and I'm not even going to say he was wrong. Clearly we didn't have a great game. I mean, they got both points, we got none. Clearly we didn't have a great game. But that helped nobody whatsoever. And if you couple that with the point that, based off the team selection that we got, like right there, even playing Reinhardt as badly as I was, what was I going to be able to do against the Meteor Strike, and B, the Rocket Barrage, from two similar directions but not the same direction? That's difficult, particularly if you have a Bastion who's just set up and is ready. I don't blame him for that loss, but I will say it doesn't help. And I point that out because I think team composition is important. And you guys know I kind of look at team composition. Most of the games that you see me play are going to either be a tank or support, because those are the two most underutilized roles, in my opinion. So, we roll in this game. I have not picked Orisa. I don't know how to play Orisa just yet. We've got our tank. We've got some pretty good damage, but we've got defensive damage. I wanted to wait and make sure we needed the support before I played the support. We do need the support, and so I'm going to play Lucio. Lucio is great on defense, and I think he is great I think Lucio's kind of all around great. Because no matter what you're doing, there's a certain place you need to be. And a lot of times Lucio is... he's most effective, for me at least. He's most effective where you need to be. This is one where we have to defend the point, right? Perhaps Mercy might be better. She can hide a little bit better and does much better single target heals. Plus she can keep people alive and keep them from having to run back the entire way. So I can see Mercy being better on this one. I guess I can kind of see Ana being really good. I don't know that I would quite say Ana would be a better fit for this type of map. I'm missing somebody. I can't remember who it is. I'm a little tired. I'm sorry. But that's the situation we have. Now, as Lucio, I have pushed it up way too far. There is no need for me to be that close. However, I use the payload as my cover. And because they're not able to push just yet, this is all we really need. At least all I really need is just to stand, use the payload as my cover. And anytime that my team gets a little low on health or anything like that, they know exactly where I am. Right on the payload. Now, I am right on the payload, and that is good. But that's not the best, most optimal place for me to be. It is probably better for me to be right around where that first curve is. That gives me a lot more places I can go. In case it gets kind of hairy. It also gives me the opportunity to keep the team from having to be directly in the line of fire of the enemy team. Now they have to push up in order to keep the enemy team honest. Die, Mercy. Thank you. Bastard doesn't know I'm here. He's going to try to heal himself, but he's taking that fire. And I don't think he knew I was right there. So, again, while this is not the best place to be, it's not a terrible place to be. I did that ult. It was kind of premature, but I did it specifically to help out D.Va. If I can keep her in that mech for a while, she was kind of getting low on health. If I can keep her in that mech for a while, that's just a little longer. We can keep them focused right here. They can't get any push-up going because we are right in their face, and that's important. But again, team's doing pretty well, and part of this is because, you know, just careful picking of who you have. Now, you don't necessarily have to have careful picking of who you have. I've seen teams without tanks work just fine. I've seen teams without support work just fine. You know, I've seen a lot of different teams do a lot of good work. But either A, there's a lot that goes into it, or B, a lot of times you just know the other people on your team. If you're friends with that guy, you kind of know his plays and his tendencies. So you kind of play to his strengths. Put fire on Bastion. Dangerous spot because they have a Roadhog, and I almost got hooked. Right there. It's a bad decision. Here, being in front of the payload is a much better idea. When you first start, I don't think it's quite such a good idea because when they spawn, they just come around the corner, deal damage, they can walk right back around, get a free heal, and come right back and deal more damage to you. Here, they're going to have to walk at least a little bit. Once they push up, just like that, we have a number of different directions that we can come in to flank them. They have to come. We know where they're going. And we have a number of different ways to keep them from getting there. So, where I am now, toward the rear of this payload, pushing up to the front. Pushing up to the front there was trying to help D.Va, but pushing up to the front, standing in the rear of this payload, is usually not a good idea, particularly when we know they have a Roadhog. They got a Roadhog, a Doomfist, and a Pharah. They could just deal damage all day long. It wouldn't even be that hard. So I'm playing really cavalier, particularly because I think the heals in this type of matchup are very important. As long as we keep flooding this point, they got trouble. We can keep flooding this point if I can keep up with the heals. But once I die, that's a problem. Alright, and I deserve to die right there. I didn't die. Okay, I did die. I deserve to die right there. I fully believe that if you're a support and you get hooked, you deserve to die. Roadhog should be able to do his combo and kill you. I believe that. People say that's OP. I think some characters he should be able to do that too. Just straight up, he should be able to shoot you in the face because you got too close and got hooked.
Good job, guys. We got this.
Did you see that? We got some positive reinforcement from a teammate. Why? Because that does so much better than telling everybody how bad they are. You guys suck. Nobody's going to get better with that. Pushed up a little too close. I was just trying to harass the Bastion, though. I want that Bastion to be paying very close attention. But that's the problem with being too close. I got too close. I got dead. And the reason that is a bad idea is now my team has no sustain. So they can get some, I mean, if they can keep up some sustained damage, then we die. Better that I'm backed up. But we edged it out and got that win anyway.
Good job.
My boy's saying good job. Now, again, this is here for a reason. I'm trying to show something. So, once again, I'm going to be quiet and I'm going to let this play out. Look at that. Lucio.
Select your hero.
Really? Why are you on Soldier after that? Go on, Superpower Roger. Can I get Soldier back? Just had gold, 3 golds with Soldier, and Superpower Roger is keeping him.
Come on, let's bring it together. I grow tired of waiting.
Alright, you're an ass, Superpower Roger.
So here's what we're looking at. The guy had a really good round with a character he apparently likes. Somebody else took the character and is trolling with him. Essentially, I got this, you can't have it, so on and so forth. That could be because he likes that character. It could be because he wants to be a jerk about it. I don't know. I kind of assume the jerk because he's sitting over here dancing. like in front of the guy dancing them. So I kind of assume he's trying to be a jerk about it. But he did get cussed out for pretty much nothing. I mean, sincerely, there are other characters, you'll be fine.
You're a bitch.
Or maybe you won't be fine. I don't know. But at the end of the day, what it comes down to is we got to work together. So let's see what we got. All right. That was just instant karma. First thing out of the gate, 76 gets snatched up and killed. Instant karma. But let's look at what we have. Contrary to what we had in the last game, we have a team that has set up for, to me, that's a little bit better for what the action is that we have to perform. We don't have to get the entire first point. What we really have to do is get this little group here to right around 2 bins. Not that hard. It's a lot easier if A, you have a healer who can stay on the point and keep everybody healed up. B, you have somebody who can do damage from pretty safe places, i.e. your Hanzo, i.e. your 76. And C, if you have characters that are difficult to kill. And in this case, you have 3 tanks that can soak up damage. That's 1 shield, 1 hefty character, and 1 defense matrix that soaks up pretty much everything they can throw at you. So we're almost where we need to be already. And that is amazing. And so I'm really happy. I'm thrilled that this worked out the way it did. I mean, we still ain't won yet, but I'm glad that the team stuck together. And that's the other important thing. I think his name was Steve Ditka or something like that. I'll check it in a second. But it's very important to note, he stuck around for this game. Most people don't do that. If they don't get what they want, they whine, they complain, they throw the match, they quit, whatever. He stuck around, and I really appreciated that. And I think I sent him a message about that as well. We'll look at the stats too, and you see who played it and all that kind of stuff. But because we're able to stick together, because we pick things that are important for the task that we have to do, it makes more sense. And even when we disagree, we still work together to get things taken care of, as opposed to the first game where it just went nuts. And I don't like salt, so. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. If you like, hit that like button. If you love, hit subscribe. If you want to leave me a comment to help me get better, I certainly appreciate it. Particularly with Reinhardt, because I want to get better. I'm not good. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out!